This is the whole story of the boys' comics. After his girlfriend Robin is instantly turned into a bloody paste when the speedster A-Train carelessly runs through her during a superhero battle, leaving a traumatized Scotsman wee Hughie Campbell standing on the street holding her severed hands, he is approached by the intimidating, cynical Billy Butcher to join the Boys, a CIA-backed Black Ops team consisting of tactical leader Mother's Milk, the eccentric Frenchman, and the Female, all of whom injected themselves with doses of the superpower-granting drug Compound V to level the playing field against corrupt, depraved superhumans manufactured by the Vought American megacorporation. Butcher's hidden, ultimate motive is an all-consuming vendetta against Homelander, the godlike, psychopathic leader of the premier superhero team, the Seven, whom Butcher believes raped his wife Becky, leading to her tragic death when a superpowered fetus burst violently from her womb. To gain leverage over Vought, the team systematically blackmails, beats, and executes lesser superhero teams, starting with Teenage Kicks, an operation where Hughie accidentally kills the hero Blarneycock by punching clean through his chest due to his newly acquired uncalibrated Compound V strength, an event that leaves Hughie riddled with immense guilt, while Butcher uses secret surveillance footage of a superhero orgy to blackmail Vaught's cold, calculating corporate executive James Stillwell. As the boys investigate the G-Men, a massively lucrative mutant franchise led by the pedophilic John Godolkin, they uncover that Godolkin has been kidnapping and abusing children to expand his mutant empire. A scandal so toxic that Vought chooses to execute the entire G-Men roster via a tactical strike team rather than let the information leak to the public. This ruthless corporate cover-up culture dates back decades, most egregiously highlighted during the September 11th attacks, where Vought pushed the Seven into intercepting a hijacked airliner over New York City. The mission was a catastrophic failure, as Homelander accidentally deafened the passengers by shouting, shattered the plane's controls with his super strength, and cowardly abandoned the aircraft, causing it to crash directly into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing thousands, and proving to the government that superheroes are completely useless, highly volatile military assets. Meanwhile, Hughie unknowingly begins dating Annie January, a naive, deeply religious heroine who has just joined the Seven as Starlight, only to be immediately subjected to horrific sexual degradation and hazing by Homelander, A-Train, and Black Noir. When Butcher eventually exposes Annie's true superhero identity to Hughie to test his loyalty, a devastated Hughie suffers a psychological breakdown and temporarily flees to Russia, where he bonds with Voss, a communist, well-endowed former superhero named Love Sausage. Upon his return, the boys engage in a brutal war with Vought's secondary team, Payback, culminating in a vicious showdown with Stormfront, a secretly elderly, literal Nazi superhero who was the world's very first genetically engineered superhuman and the genetic template for Homelander. After Stormfront blinds the Female and severely beats the team, Butcher, Mother's Milk, the Frenchman, and Love Sausage launch a relentless, boots-on-the-ground assault, stomping the Nazi speedster to death in a muddy field. During Herogasm, an annual corporate-sponsored superhero sex retreat on a secluded island, Butcher plants surveillance gear that uncovers Vaught's ultimate geopolitical plots, while Homelander begins receiving anonymous, highly graphic photographs of himself committing acts of cannibalism, mass murder, and necrophilia. Atrocities he has absolutely no recollection of committing, which rapidly fractures his already fragile narcissistic psyche and drives him into extreme paranoia. Convinced he is a subconscious monster beyond redemption, Homelander abandons all corporate restraint, murders James Stillwell's replacement, and orchestrates a violent superhuman coup, leading an army of capes to slaughter the President of the United States and take over the White House. Armed with heavy military weaponry, Butcher infiltrates the blood-soaked Oval Office to finally confront his wife Becky's rapist and killer, only for the perpetually silent Seven-member Black Noir to step forward, remove his mask, and reveal himself as an identical, albeit slightly mutated, clone of Homelander. Vought created Noir as a secret failsafe to destroy Homelander if he ever went rogue, but because Homelander never snapped, a frustrated Noir spent years dressing up in Homelander's costume to commit unspeakable atrocities, including the rape of Becky Butcher, deliberately gaslighting Homelander into insanity just so Noir could fulfill his biological purpose of killing him. A shocked and enraged Homelander attacks his clone, resulting in a cataclysmic battle that leaves the White House in ruins and Homelander thoroughly dismembered and killed. A severely mangled Black Noir crawls onto the lawn, where Billy Butcher, refusing to let his lifelong revenge be stolen, uses a crowbar to crack open the clone's skull and tear his bare brains out. With the superheroes effectively eradicated and Vought crippled, Butcher's ultimate, horrifying endgame is initiated. Completely consumed by a genocidal hatred for anyone associated with superpowers, he repurposes Vought's resources to create a highly localized, airborne chemical weapon designed to trigger the explosive, lethal degradation of anyone possessing even a single molecule of compound V in their bloodstream. A plot that would result in the mass murder of hundreds of thousands of innocent men, women, and children worldwide who were injected as infants. When the remaining members of the boys refuse to allow this global slaughter, Butcher ruthlessly betrays his own family, murdering Mother's Milk by putting grenade in his mouth and detonating a bomb that obliterates the Frenchman and the female in their basement headquarters, leaving only a heartbroken Hughie to stop him. Hughie tracks Butcher to the pinnacle of the Empire State Building, where they engage in a desperate, clumsy brawl that ends with both men plummeting down a flight of stairs, breaking Butcher's spine and leaving him permanently paralyzed. Knowing he is lost, but refusing to spend his life in a wheelchair or a cell, Butcher maliciously lies to Hughie, claiming he traveled to Scotland and murdered Hughie's parents, successfully baiting a grief-stricken Hughie into driving a sharp metal through his chest, allowing Butcher to die with a smile on his face. Years later, Hughie, now the sole survivor of the team, confronts the remaining, terrified corporate executives of Vought American, delivering a final, absolute warning that he will destroy them if they ever attempt to create superheroes again, before finally finding peace and retiring to the quiet Scottish coastline to spend the rest of his days in a genuine, loving relationship with Annie January, finally closing the bloody, dark chapter of the war against the Supes.